I'm going to put you on speakerphone. Are you there?
I am.
Great. So, you're all set to start recording. You're good with it? You rolling? Okay.
I'm good with it, yeah.
Okay, excellent. Okay. I'm going to start off by asking you the connection between Gil Cabot and Todd Black as you know it.
Well, I was contacted 3, 4, maybe 5 weeks ago and said, hey, there's a fellow who's involved with the murder case, that child down in Florida, and he's aligned himself with her family, and he's purporting to be a fellow by the name of Todd Black, but it sure sounds like Gil Cabot. And so I went to a website, and I clicked, and I listened to a recording of a voice, and based on the fact that I had heard Gil Cabot's voice so many times on recordings when I was conducting an investigation for the FBI, I was 100% sure that was the voice of Gil Cabot.
And when you heard it, what was your reaction when you heard the voice and just knew?
Well, my reaction was, here we go again. You know, you would think that when someone gets arrested and they go to prison, they might have learned their lesson, and I don't know that he's broken the law or is breaking the law down there in Florida, but I know that based on the recording that I listened to, Todd Black is not Todd Black. Todd Black is Gil Cabot.
And you said that you had spent a lot of time listening to his voice. Why is that?
I investigated an extortion case back in the mid-1980s where the victim was Jan Carl, the well-known celebrity interviewer on Entertainment Tonight. And I'm sorry.
That's okay.
And
can you tell me a little bit about that case?
We recorded many phone conversations between Gil Cabot and Jan Carl. Although Gil was always using different names and different aliases in his scheme, he eventually got arrested and was found guilty in the court of Honorable Jacqueline Connor in Los Angeles Superior Court.
Did he ever, to your recollection, use the name Todd Black in that case?
You know, I don't recall if he specifically used the name Todd Black in that case, but I do believe that he had used the alias Todd Black back in the 1980s, and I don't know for what reason or why, but that, I believe, is one of his listed aliases.
Can you tell me a little bit about the extortion case, what the facts were in that case?
Yeah, Gil Cabot was or wanted to be a talent manager or a talent agent, and had approached Jan Carl at a party and asked if she would want to switch from Ed Hookstratton, a very well-known, reputable agent in the LA area, to him, to Gil Cabot. And Jan said, no, thank you, I'm very happy with Mr. Hookstratton. Well, Gil Cabot took that as a slight, and he targeted her as the victim of an extortion.
Wait, you broke up a little bit. The cell phone connection wasn't great. Can you go back? He took it as a slight, and then I didn't hear what you said right after that.
And apparently he decided to target her and extort her. And he was never Gil Cabot the extortionist, but there were several different names that he used and would impersonate these other people in this scheme. There were 3 or 4 or 5 other people. Of course, they were all Gil Cabot. But the claim was that Jan Carl was in a jacuzzi in Marina del Rey, California, and did not have any clothes on and was performing certain sexual acts on a man. And this was being told to the news director, Jeff Wald of KTLA News at the time. Jeff recorded it and then called Jan in and said, hey, and she said, absolutely, positively not, can't be. The only person I've ever been with in my life is my fiancé, David, who is now, by the way, her husband. And so she knew there were no skeletons in her closet. There couldn't be a videotape. There couldn't be pictures because she's never been with anybody else. And so I got the call at the FBI to go to KTLA that it's a possible extortion, and that was the beginning of about a 6-month case.
Wow. How long would you say you listened to his voice on tape or over the phone or however?
Hours and hours and hours and hours.
So when you heard it recently,
it sounded like Gil Cabot to me.
You said that he had been to prison even before the Jan Carl case. What's your
understanding that he had been incarcerated in prison? I believe it was for a non-violent offense, but it's been a long time since I was privy to that information. But he was definitely in prison once. I knew that, and I know the judge knew it when she sent him to prison the second time on the Jan Carl case.
If I told you, like, my first contact with him, I was actually on vacation right before that, and he was hired during the time I was on vacation, and another reporter at our station had done research and found, the Arrested Media connection, Gil Cabot connection. So we were trying to figure out who he was, and his news releases were just terrible. I mean, the grammatical errors, all kinds of errors, sentences that didn't make sense. And so we sort of, we were almost like, who's this PR guy who can't even string a sentence together without having a grammatical error? So he took offense at that. And the first time I spoke with him, he knew that I was coming from the same station that had done that story. And he immediately started making threats.
Yeah. So,
does that sound like his MO to you?
Yeah, and that could be any one of the personas that he throws out there. Some are very touchy-feely and sensitive, and others are very tough, and the voice changes, the inflection changes, the pitch changes, the volume changes, but the bottom line is they're all Gil Cabot.
And with that, I mean, I guess anybody